All right, now that our initial arrow graphic here is in place, we can go ahead and begin working on the outline. Now you'll notice the outline here is rounded. So we're actually going to work with the rounded rectangle tool rather than the straight rectangle like we did last time. So get that in place. Go up here to Insert, Shapes, and then we'll select the rounded rectangle. And I'm just going to drag something out. I don't know how that's going to look. Double click it. I want to fill it with white, but I will leave that blue stroke on for now because I really want to help have that contrast from the background. Actually, at some point, it makes sense here to change the slide color just temporarily so we can actually see what we're working with. Going to send that to the back, and I'm going to need to get in here a little closer. Not too bad, might be a little bit big, so maybe I'll just bring it down just a little. And then just nudge it up. And again, exactly what you want here is going to be up to you, but that's going to be good enough. And like before, we'll duplicate what we just created, but we will need to resize it. So Control key, make a duplicate, and put that back in place. Going to right click and choose size and position again, this time 45, just like before. And just leave this open because I will use it again. So right click, choose send to back, and you can see that we're going to need to make this a little bit smaller. And I'll use the arrow keys to move it over. Again, this is really going to be the nuance part of it. How much time you want to spend on it's really going to be up to you. I could also adjust. There's another thing I could do, right? I could adjust how round I want that to be, right? I'm just going to use the default settings, but again, you can modify that any way you want. So I like that. That looks fine, and it looks good enough for here. So I'm going to select it and click Control D to make a copy. And again, like that, -45. And so just like before, though, this is going to be really important. Send it back. Really important that we get this part aligned really well here. And that is to make sure that these two outlines. Okay. And I just, if you don't know that, right, holding down the Control key when you use the arrow keys helps position that and just move it over 1 pixel at a time. So shift click each of them. Want to make sure that I actually shift click the right ones. There we go. And again, we'll go to the Home tab and just make a union out of them. So in and of itself, I think that looks pretty cool, right? You could actually just work with that. Go ahead and select it, and we'll go ahead and fill this with a gradient, this time also with the white. So it'll be a little bit gray up here, and then it'll come down and be 100% white off over here. So format, shape outline, I'm going to use just a off white, somewhere around there. Darker 15 is probably fine. Shape fill, we'll do a gradient, and then we'll come back in here and we'll just modify those gradients. All right, so just like before, I'm going to first get rid of this middle stop, and I want to, well, I know that's 100% white. That might be a little too dark of gray, so maybe come in here, and I'll play with that. But what I want to make sure I do is get this initial gradient set up so that it's all white on this side of it. So I'm just going to take this and move it up. But that's a lot darker gray than I wanted, so let's just maybe there. And again, however you want for that gray to be is going to be fine, but again, maybe just a little bit more. That's too much. So we'll leave it there. That's going to be fine. So essentially there it is, right? We have a little bit of an outline on this. You can't see it here, but if I return my slide color back to white, you'll see that it has a little bit of a stroke, and the gradient again is coming down here. So both of these gradients are going the same direction. That's important. And the next example, we'll go ahead and just build out the drop shadow, and then we'll be ready to modify the points and create the peeling effect.